Well, a thrilling start to our championship window there on the girls' side.
We have a dynamic women's finish. We had to step aside for just a second, but look who's lined up. Our boys in what should be a very competitive and dynamic, especially for the individual championships. Heavy favorite will be Miami Havana. Those are the kids from Balin Jesuit in Miami who have a huge history. And then representing North Carolina, Union Elite out of Marvin Ridge. They're going to be our top two teams, but watch who bursts up front. We've got Marcelo Montacon, Florida 3A champ, just a sophomore. Will the sophomore trend continue after Avery in the last race? Ty Stortz from West Virginia, who has a tremendous undefeated streak in cross-country races going back to last year. And then we've got a rematch of the Alabama 7A championship battle. Luke Alverson and Eric Moore, who went 1-2. Moore won, Alverson second. We got Tommy Latham, the Georgia 6A champ, one of the largest classifications, and the three-time Kentucky champion, Rico Sugio. And all these guys are under 15 minutes. So let's watch this group right at the point right now, because this is going to be our race. And we talk about how important it is against a great field to get out front. And we look at this surge to the middle right now. And it's not just these 5 guys. There's about 20 guys that want to be in the lead.
Stop, Heather, don't say that. There's a camera.
Well, if they're taking notes from the girls' race, they know that one way to do this is to get out hard and establish a big enough lead that it is completely insurmountable. Not looking in the early stages here like anyone is quite ready to take that on at the moment. You mentioned Latham. Got to keep an eye on him. He is the top returner from last year, having placed 3rd overall and coming back looking to get himself on the podium again. He's a UNC commit and wanting to do all he can in his final year of high school cross-country running.
In the white on the outside, it's Finley Lorimore out of Morgantown, West Virginia. And we'll pick up some numbers here. We are obviously watching the cart cam along with you online. And that's Mantacon, I think, in the shades. Going right to the lead, no surprise. Finished 16th at NXN last year. And of course, Miami Havana, defending regional champ, were 4th as a team at NXN a year ago. And he's got 3 teammates who joined him in the top 10 in the Florida 3A meet. Another sophomore, Armando Cruz, who'll be wearing 2074, and then a couple of seniors, Justin Ruiz and Joseph Sakaras.
Well, Bob, we talked about the dominance of that Miami Havana team, and not surprising to see one of their exponents up at the lead here. Again, just a sophomore, but doing a great job of taking on the charge. We saw many of their athletes in the earlier open invitational races running incredibly fast times, and kind of made note that if they could run that fast and not even make the championship squad, it shows you just how deep that program is.
Yeah, that was our audition tape. Oh, yeah.
So first time up the hill, Mantacon with teammates and others in pursuit.
He says he thinks.
As a freshman, Mantacon was 3rd of the state, 1600 at track, has a 4:10 1600, was 6th of the state at 3200. All right, it's time to meet our girls' team winners. It is indeed Raleigh Catholic, and Woody is with them right now.
Hi, we're back here at Southeast Regionals, and with Raleigh Catholic winning by razor-thin margins. Did you know it was a battle when you were racing out there?
Yeah, so our coach, Coach Mangum, kept saying, like, every stick counts, and Coach Peoples up the hill, he was like, that's a stick right there, that's a stick, like, past the people. So, yeah, we knew it was going to be close. But.
So do you think everybody here had to get their person? Was everybody aware of how close it was? Very close, yeah. Now, you guys are kind of hometown heroes at this point. Do you think that you were familiar with this course?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't even know how many times I've ran this course, but we know it by heart. This is our course, so we went out there and proved that, yeah.
And it's kind of redemption because you missed out just last year, but this year you came in and you won. It's a close race, but you did it. Yeah. What does it mean to you guys to win on the home turf?
This means so much. Don't make me cry, but I'm just so proud of this team. Each year we kept moving up places, and we knew this year we could do it. So, yeah.
Well, what do you want to do for next? What's your plans for nationals now? What's your plans?
Have the most fun humanly possible.
Good idea.
Yeah.
What does that entail, having fun at nationals? Does that mean training really hard? Does that mean going for a
dance party? We want to do the Normatex. Just kidding.
Yeah,
no.
we do the Normatex.
The whole season, our motto is to have fun, and I like to say that for every race and before every practice. Coach always asks, what am I forgetting? I say, have fun. So that's our motto, and we're going to do that at nationals.
Well, that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. So congratulations to Raleigh Catholic, and good luck at Portland next week at the big dance.
Thank you so much.
Well, they take this dance thing literally. So we'll know who's having the most fun at Glendevere Golf Course. Hey, we've gotten through our first mile. The 2K splits are in, and Tommy Latham into the lead from Ave Maria in Atlanta. Again, the Georgia 6A champ, 5:45. Jack Bowen, who's been here before. Cali Ridge Runners out of Chattanooga. D2 team. And there's Storts from Tees Valley Track Club.
And interesting
Anacon
here, these
fourth,
guys.
Sugi fifth. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, interesting, these guys choosing opposite sides of the course there. And you kind of see that sometimes in road running where you're trying to stay, on either the flattest or the best surface of the race. But interesting, these guys splitting the difference there. And I think they're just kind of testing each other out, Bob. That's the sense I get. If someone makes a little bit of a push to the front, sees if anyone's going to take the bait and go with them. And seeing quite a bit of shuffling going on here. All these runners just trying to feel each other out as they head into the second loop.
This is the dustiest part of the course, around the parking lot on the north end of the complex. And again, crushed granite, where it's such a reliable surface to run on. When it gets too dry, you can get a lot of dust, but this has really been the only part that's kicked up much, so we're very fortunate with that. I think it was the ACC championships. It was like running in fog. North Carolina State has hosted ACC here. And there again, everybody's stepping in different directions. So this is a fun little mess. See the early team points, Miami, Havana, large lead. Don't expect that to change.
And Bob, it almost appears as though there's some conversations being had up front there. I noticed that as they were approaching the hill through the first time, and this was a concerted decision here. This was obviously a big move up at the front. So the chase is on, but what a decisive piece of work and turnover. This looks like a sprint to the finish at this point, and these guys are only 8.5 minutes in.
So this is Storts from West Virginia. This is the guy who's undefeated in his last 13 races, including 2 West Virginia State Championship meets.
Well, if anyone's going to have confidence, especially over these hills, it's going to be someone who is undefeated 13 times and from West Virginia. This is not surprising, although as we say that, again, a good push being made just to make sure that gap doesn't get too big. You can really throw people off by throwing in a giant surge and just hoping that you catch them off guard. And if you don't react quickly, that can be all over.
He also has the #1 cross-country mark in the U.S. this year for the distance, 14:37.8. Guess where he ran that time? Here in September.
Well, not
So
surprising
he
at
knows
all.
what
And
he's
again,
getting into.
he sure does, absolutely. So that split, by the way, we should mention their 2K split, 5:45. That's a 4:37 mile average. So given that this is not a flat course, that is absolutely rolling. And you get a sense of that. That's why we've seen things break up here. And now it is really a pack of 3, Bob, separated from the rest.
Yeah, it's Lathan on the left. And from Ave Maria in Atlanta. It's another powerful high school team these teams run for. Marist, who've just 5-peated as the Georgia 6A champs. Latham was the individual champ. Ave Maria advanced to NXN last year, finished 15th. They were 3rd in this meet in the NXR.
Well, again, talk about a couple of guys who know this course well and have lots of confidence coming in. Latham, as we mentioned, 3rd last year. He is the top returner, and he's put in some excellent work over this course in the past as well. And now these two really sort of taking turns, pressing to the lead. A little shoulder glance there. As Keegan Smith is the one in 3rd, I believe.
Oh, is it Smith now? Oh, it is, yeah.
So Keegan
there you
Smith
see
running
now
unattached.
Yeah, you see the 3.2K marks in 9:24. This is a fast race with these 3.
So out of Knoxville, Tennessee is Smith, and another athlete who is used to doing very well at high-profile races. He was 7th here last year, 14:51, and he is looking to put his name in the books with these other 2 top runners. And this is where the 3 of them now are going to have to really feel each other out. And they've done enough racing against one another that they should have a good idea of where their strengths and weaknesses lie. They know they have that long uphill coming up. You can see that on the elevation tracker at the bottom of your screen. This is the final piece of that descent before they come back up the hill and into the finish. We're getting awfully close to the completion of this race.
Yeah, we're going to find out who has the guts on the incline now. And these guys continue to kind of use all parts of the course.
Well, when you're this tightly packed in terms of how close you are physically to one another, but also by way of talent and recent performances, every step matters. So making sure that you're planting well, going around those turns, running the tangents, but also not getting caught against those trees as you go around those tight turns. As Keegan Smith now is looking like he's wanting to really test the other 2 runners and throw in a charge.
And he was the guy doing that, working all the edges. Smith was 7th in this race last year and ran for the Tennessee State Champs, Knoxville Catholic, D2 AA champions.
Well, and you know, Bob,
he is
hasn't
attacking
always...
the hill.
He sure is, and he's got to go for it. He hasn't always been able to pull out his best days on the biggest stages, but he is looking smooth as butter here, and look at him turning over. You know, he ran 8:52 for the 2 mile as a freshman, so you know that he is strong and fast, and he is absolutely dominating at this point.
Stewart's coming with him. And Latham still in it. I mean, all 3 of them within striking distance. Who's going to survive this climb? Smith and Stewart's. Latham losing a little ground now.
But look at Smith going to the arms. He is just powering up this hill. He is headed to Colorado next year, and he's going to do very well as part of that team. But he has found gear after gear going uphill, and he is just running away with this, Bob. Look at this. It's like he's put 15, 20 meters on these guys in the space of 5 or 6 seconds.
Our camera vehicles had to speed up. You can see he is really powering here. So he's over the crest. And that may have sealed it. You can see the margin. Great look from the drone. Keegan Smith, who for the first mile was only sitting in 6th place, but he was also a second off. I mean, this top 10 was packed in the first
Well,
split
Bob,
by 2 seconds.
absolutely. And you know, a 152-800 guy is going to be hard to catch on any day, and that is what we're seeing play out here.
Keegan Smith, Knoxville, Tennessee, 7th a year ago, the NXR 2024 champion for the Southeast. And he'll have time to catch his breath and congratulate Stewart's, who finishes second for the first time in over 2 years. Two-time West Virginia champ. And here's Atlanta's best, Tommy Latham in third, and Will Sheets from Park Hills, who was in that top 10 early, he moves up to fourth.
And that's
Look
a nice
at all these
improvement
sub
for him.
1450s. Wow.
Absolutely. Sheets was 11th last year, so this was a nice improvement. And we should mention that time by Keegan Smith, 14:23 to take the win. Well, his time last year, 14:51, and this time he just absolutely ran away with it, taking that win by 13 seconds.
Waiting for team points to roll in. Again, we fully expect Miami Havana to win convincingly. The real question is, who's going to be the second team? Our DieStat experts were projecting Marvin Ridge. Now the crowd on the congratulations at the finish line. So it'll be interesting to compare Keegan Smith's 14:23 with some of the other winning marks around the country. That's going to stand up there. All right, it's time to go back to Woody, meet with our winner, Keegan Smith.
Second course record today. Did you know that?
I did, yeah. I saw the time and I was shocked, but the goal was to win, so I had to keep pushing through the line.
You said that you're still kicking, even though you had him beat by a lot. What were you thinking at that moment?
You know, this whole race has just been my struggle sophomore and junior year, and then I wanted to make a statement this senior year. It's not over yet. Luckily, I get to go to Portland, but today was definitely a good step in the right direction.
Well, you've definitely had a good season, and clearly this is not a capstone because you got another race coming up, but a good start. Now, is that a PR for you?
Yeah, my previous PR was 14:39.
So things are just keep getting better. Yeah. Do you think this course was a good time a good way to run a PR?
No, not particularly. There's a huge hill that you have to run twice and up the finish line. I just think with all the other fast guys in the race, it kind of towed me through, and then felt really good at 2 miles, and I was just like, I'm going to go.
When did you know that you had this in the bag?
It sounds a little boastful, but I mean, half a mile in, my legs just felt really great. I had a lot of guys that towed me through, and yeah, I felt really great today, so kind of the whole race.
I mean, you came through and you just looked amped. You weren't even that tired, so I was very impressed. And, were you familiar with anyone else you were racing, or were you just out there racing yourself?
I've been racing a lot of these guys since, middle school years. Tommy, Ty. I raced Ty earlier this year. So many good guys, and I think it goes to show that the Southeast is a lot better than people give it credit for. But yeah, today, great race from all those guys as well.
I mean, you're really racing the best runners in the country here at NXR, and good luck next week. I mean, it's an even bigger stage. Are you familiar with them too? Or?
Yeah, I ran Foot Locker my freshman year, and that was a crazy race. I got dropped off the back, so this time making nationals, I kind of want to go to the front and see what I can do. But
Well, man, you've got a good mindset, you've got good training, and good luck to you at the big dance next week.
thanks so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, great to hear there from our winner, and what a race it was for Keegan Smith as we take another look at this fantastic championship boys 5K. Lots of lead changes throughout. We weren't sure whether we were going to see the likes of Smith up in the front, and in fact, he sat back for quite a while. Said he felt really good half a mile in. While it obviously showed, he bided his time and let his other competitors, Storts and Latham, take over for the early parts of the race. It was those two up front through that twisty, turny part of the course in the forest, and Keegan just ate into that advantage with each stride. He said this is not a great course to PR on because, of course, you have that giant hill that you have to go up twice, but he made easy work of it, just absolutely turning the screws. This is where he got himself up into the pole position just in the final minutes of the race, and then powered like a freight train for home. Absolutely, literally leaving his competitors in the dust. Arms go up for Keegan Smith, taking top marks here on the individual side in 14:23, a full 13 seconds ahead of his next competitor, of course, Storts and Latham rounded up the top three. And we continue to take a look at the team scores as they come through unofficially. Well, it is unofficial, but I think we can fairly safely say that given the margin of advantage, Miami Havana is going to come away as your winners. The team out of Florida currently sitting at 94 points. And currently sitting in second place is Mount St. Alban Track Club with 134. Capitals are back in third with 211. Again, still unofficial at the moment, but unsurprising to see Miami Havana taking this with relative ease. Great aerial shot there of this beautiful course here at Nike Cross Regional Southeast. It's been a fantastic day of racing. Right from the start with the Rising Stars through to those open invitational divisions, and then of course during this championship window. Couldn't ask for much better weather conditions or a more beautiful setting. As again, all roads continue to lead to Portland in just a couple weeks' time. We're so glad that you've taken the time to join us today here on runnerspace.com for this NXR Southeast meet. Of course, you can continue catching all of the action throughout the day with the other regions. And we're going to take a look right now at New York as that race continues unfolding. So looking like another beautiful day just north of here. Again, you can catch all the action on runnerspace.com. That is New York on your screen right now. Of course, you can head over if you're continuing to watch the action to NXR Southwest. That'll be taking place in Mesa, Arizona. We've let Bob get over to start covering all of the action in Arizona. But we'll speak momentarily with our winners on the team side of the boys championship race. And again, all roads lead to Portland. It's been a fantastic day, and it's amazing how quickly things get set up and then how quickly they get taken down. Kudos to everyone on site who's made for such a great show, both in person and, of course, on your screens at home. And we are now going to throw back to Mr. Woody Kincaid for an interview with the winning team, Miami Havana.
second year in a row at least. At this point, you guys kind of have a storied program. You won last year, you won this year. Why do you think you're having so much success as a team?
I think it all comes from our legacy as a team. It started a long time ago with our first state championship in 1995, and we're just kind of building off that. We have a big team of alumni that are all there to support us. We have so many alumni right there behind the camera that are watching us. So it's super hyped to be able to see what they accomplished in the past and build off that for sure.
Right on. I like that. And I know you guys travel. I met you in Flagstaff. Do you think those team camps help you guys become closer together, focus? Tell me what it's like at those camps.
For sure, yeah. So we basically go up to Flagstaff for a month at a time. So kind of been there 3 months total now as a senior. And yeah, it just helps us a lot to bond. We're in a house together, you know, doing all sorts of things. We go play basketball, play card games, you know, and then we're all just bonding, watching movies, like doing anything, all those runs together, all those grinds at altitude. It gets pretty tough out there, but when you look to the side and you see your teammates, it definitely pushes us to kind of do what we did today.
Yeah, and you know, there's some expectation now that you know some teams come in here and they hope to do well, but you guys do well often. How did you deal with that kind of pressure coming in?
We kind of try to take the pressure off of each other, so kind of being able to trust each other. When one of us doesn't have a good day, the other one of us kind of like steps up. So we have Marcelo at the front, and we don't want him to feel pressure, so he knows we're all going to be there up behind him if anything goes wrong. So yeah, it's kind of like instead of pressure, we kind of have this team trust that allows us to run and race without that pressure, but instead it's kind of like a workout where we're just out there together moving forward.
Who would you say you're most proud of who ran today on your team? Have you thought about it, had time to think about it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I don't think I can name one person because we have a lot of guys that did their job and more. I know Marcelo, like, I mean, I don't know what we would do without him. He's our glue. He keeps us together in these races, knowing that he's up there doing what he does. We had Armando, Zagala right here. I mean, these two are sophomores, and they were our 1-2 today. I mean, like, he went out super hard, and although I saw him all the way up there, I was not worried because I know he's a beast and he's gonna get it done. I had Prugi next to me, Marco. You know, like, just to be able to see him, talk to him throughout the whole race, and my other guys, Tiago, Michael, and D-Mag. I mean, they're all there together, you know. So I'm proud of all of them, and I couldn't have done this without any of them, you know.
Yeah, that's a good team right there. That's a good team. One last question: how are you guys gonna prepare for nationals now, the biggest stage? Now that you've clearly dominated this one, you got a bigger one coming up.
And we're just gonna keep on doing what we do. We don't think there's any monster too big to take down, so we're just gonna go in there with the same confidence we've been going with, and we're gonna race together. We're gonna talk to each other on the course, and we're gonna treat it like any other race and see what we can do.
All right, this guy knows what's up. Congratulations to Miami Havana, on another great race, and good luck to you at NXN next week. Thank you.
Well, we heard that the girls' teams are looking to dance their way to NXN, and it sounds like on the guys' side, looking to have fun as well. Just treat it like any other race. What a great piece of advice. Have fun, treat it like any other race. Put in the work early on so that you can actually enjoy it and have a good time when it comes to championship racing. What a day of championship racing it has been. Absolutely thrilling. And guess what? Things are not over. We've got lots of upcoming events for you. There you see the Nike Cross Nationals schedule. Of course, we've already had Heartland, Northwest, and Midwest, South and Southeast, Southwest, and Northeast taking place today. Continue checking out all that action across our platform on runnerspace.com. And then looking forward after December 7th, of course,